Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you've been well. I realize this is probably the first video I'm not wearing a hat, and my is what it is. See, audio levels, trying different mic setup. I'm here with Chase. We'll get into that in a second. It's day of, we're going to Overland Expo here, so it's Thursday. So I've been kind of loading up some rigs. Diamondback took the Tacoma. I'm taking the Tundra. Chase is actually gonna be in the Toyo Tires booth with me, and then gonna take the GTR also. GTR is multicam black. Chase's GX is multicam Alpine. So that's cool.
Can't really tell right now. But.
It's kind of dirty, but we're gonna do a rig walk around. He was actually here. He broke some stuff.
Yeah.
He's been breaking some stuff.
A lot of stuff. Been getting a lot of help though, which is awesome, and that's also why I'm here, because you helped me out.
Yeah. So I don't know Chase that well. We've met a couple times. He was in Colorado. I'll let him talk here in a second. Don't worry. He broke a little part of his bumper and needed a welder. I have a welder. Yep. I said, hey, come over, you can borrow it. He fixed that, and I was like, let's do a little walk around.
Yeah.
So
pretty
this
much
is,
exactly what happened.
I'll just turn the camera, I'll be camera guy now and just kind of ask you some questions as we go. Tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll talk about the rig.
Yeah, so like Mike said, I'm Chase, and I'm here because he helped me out, so thank you, Mike, appreciate it a lot.
You're welcome. I didn't do much.
Well, yeah, you had tools that I needed, so that was great. But yeah, so my name's Chase. I'm in Tucson, Arizona is where I'm out of, but I travel all over the Southwest. You can find me on Instagram at chase.in.point. And Two Track Nation is a company I'm starting, and we have a product that we're gonna be debuting this winter. It's a diesel heater. It's on the truck. We'll give you a little flash as we go over the truck. But yeah, this is the rig. It's a 2009 Lexus GX470. I've owned it for probably 5 years now, I think, at this point, maybe 6. I bought it like super cherry. Like I sourced the nicest one that I could find. And
just to thrash it.
Yeah, literally, because I wanted perfect service maintenance. And like actually at the time when I was looking for this, these were still kind of under the radar. Like they're pretty popular nowadays, right?
Yeah, 6 years back they weren't though.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're just starting to come up. GX Offroad was a lot smaller, which is like the biggest Facebook group or whatever that you can get information about these. And third gen 4Runners were more expensive, or fourth gen 4Runners with the V8 were more expensive than these at the time. And so
maybe still.
Actually, yeah, maybe. They're pretty hard to find, the V8s, but these all come V8, full-time 4-wheel drive, like all of them. So you're always gonna get, exactly that package, which is the ideal 4Runner package. So
I don't know a ton about it. It's the 4.7?
470.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's the 4.7 liter.
Yep, correct.
V8.
Yeah, the 2UZ.
Yeah, well, I guess, the 470 versus the 460, GX460.
Yeah, the 460 is then the next iteration, which is out, well, there's a new one out now, right?
Almost.
Yeah.
The 550.
The GX 550, which is crazy. That thing is sick. But yeah, the 460 has like the 4.6 liter. Mm-hmm. They're way nicer inside. And they have like cooled seats and all that sort of stuff. This one's still pretty good. But yeah. So anyways, this is what it is now. Which is kind of, it's gotten a little wild. It's just like been this big snowball. I tend to like, whenever I get into a hobby, I just like snowball into it. And
Chase, big drifting guy, actually. We were talking about it. Because I think I've mentioned on the channel, I got this is my G35, because I kind of wanted to dabble in that for fun, but we were talking kind of that stuff. Yeah,
we got to get you set up, because drifting's a lot of fun. And I actually got out of drifting to get into this, because drifting's also really expensive, and you also break stuff. And I didn't know that off-roading was more expensive, though.
Yeah, we were joking earlier. He was like, yeah, I got out of drifting. I was just tired of fixing my car all the time, and I got into another thing where I'm fixing my car all the time.
Turns out. So one thing about me is I do all my own work. Like this front bumper up here is a weld together kit. I welded it. I'm not the best welder, but like,
Yeah, it looks like crap.
I've hit a lot of stuff with it, and it hasn't fallen apart yet, so like that's good. But I really advocate for people to try and do their own work, because like when you're out and you break something, you'll know how to fix it. You know what I mean? So like up front, we got this bumper, a bunch of Baja Design lights, LP9s, some S2 Pros. And then this has a kind of a one-off long travel kit on it. It's a +2 inch width, and it moves it forward about 1.5 inches. It's a buddy of mine, he had a company called Alpha Foxtrot Design. Really smart guy.
CVs are looking a little rough.
What's that?
Your CV's looking a little rough.
Oh yeah, that's new. That's nice. Yeah, I've also been on the road for like 2 months. So.
So he was with. Well, you could tell you were. What were you doing with?
Yeah, so I was with 4-Wheel Drive 24/7. They're, if you don't know who they are, they're like a pretty big YouTube channel out of Australia, and they did like a US tour, and I helped put together their tour. I did some guiding for them, and then I helped them with like drone media services and like all that kind of stuff. So,
did your face show up in there?
Yeah.
Like is it already live on YouTube? That series gonna be?
Nope. They just released like a teaser,
Okay.
Beers in the Shed episode, and just kind of talking about what they thought about it. But
Okay.
it's to come.
It's to come. So the GX you'll see in that, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
is
there's
you.
one episode at least, maybe two, that this will be in, which that was a really good experience. They're like super cool guys.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
So
So you've been doing that for the last month or two.
Yeah, I did that for about 5 weeks, and then I took some extra time to kind of do solo stuff, which is actually when I broke everything.
Okay.
Like,
Well, that's
the
good.
truck
I
held
guess it
together
stayed
for the
together.
whole,
Yeah.
I was like, just hold together for like the whole trip, you know?
The Aussie power.
Yeah, the Aussie power, but yeah, she's been a trooper.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, so +2 inches. This thing is super wide, like buggy-esque,
Yeah.
if you can tell, with, it looks like, crazy fenders as well.
Yeah, these are fiberglass wide fenders. The other side's probably cooler because it has
Got
like
the
this
snorkel.
Yeah, it has like a recessed snorkel.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
And it actually came like this, like, and I did zero prep work before the wrap, and it just like, I mean, obviously I had to cut the hole and stuff like that, but these are McQueen fiberglass fenders for people wondering. I don't remember how much wider they are, but they're definitely wider.
Yeah, I probably won't put too much stuff in the description like I usually do, just because I don't know about it. But hit Chase up, and he's got that information.
Yeah, I'll for sure put answer all those questions. I get them all the time, but it's a good thing. The front long travel has been like super beefy and robust. It's probably the most reliable part on the on the truck, honestly. Yeah. And the rear end, since we're talking about suspension, is a brand new Dana 60 from ECGS with the factory 4-link kit. So all the stock mounts and stuff like that, stock locations. So this was literally just like a bolt-in part, and it's a 1-ton axle that bolts in, which is awesome.
Wow.
This one, I lucked out.
Get the right gear ratio and everything out of that?
Yeah, it's re-geared to 488s all around. So they actually helped me out in a pinch because right before this trip, I found out that my 8.2 rear end had a bent housing. Oh. And so they were able to like help me out a lot. They like had this extra housing that someone backed out of, and I was able to kind of like.
Okay.
But it's +7, so it's actually like 3.5 inches or 3 inches.
So do you have staggered wheels then, like different offset front and rear, or just
no? The rear is
the
just
long travel is close enough.
Yeah, the rear is just wider by a little bit.
I guess
can't do public math right now.
2 and 2, so 2 inches wider on each side.
Yeah.
Something like that. I could be wrong.
The front is 3 inches wider overall. So if I went to like a traditional 3.5 wide, then it'd be square. Okay. So that's what I should do. Eventually.
I mean, it looks insane.
It looks okay. Yeah.
It looks just.
It wheels pretty good.
Insane. Maybe it's like as wide as a Raptor, probably. The wheel, like the
really.
width.
I don't even know how wide. Raptors are pretty wide.
Yeah, but this thing's pretty wide.
I mean, that looks ridiculous. Yeah. But
it's crazy. It's cool, it doesn't do anything to help keep the vehicle very clean.
No,
is the problem.
It throws rocks everywhere, dude. Yeah. It's pretty bad. Yeah, that's kind of the the shocks and stuff are, it's a pretty basic setup. Like I don't have triple bypasses. I just have like smoothies, and actually the rears on this trip, I totally destroyed.
Yeah.
And I had to swap rear shocks. So I just have like regular Dobinson IMS shocks on it right now.
Okay. That you just found some in the right
Yeah,
length.
I found some in Denver.
Okay.
And
yeah, Twan.
Yeah.
Wait, Twan help you out with that? I forget.
yeah, a lot of
Running
people
for
help me out.
Yeah.
They help rebuild one, and then we threw an
Chase has
exhaust
just been
on.
around like accepting donations from wherever.
It's been a trip, man. I'm trying to like think of all the things and all the people that have helped me on this trip, and it's ridiculous. So
Yeah, that's good.
big
Good-
community. You guys
good
got a big community here in Denver. Like it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Denver's pretty good for that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Sorry, we keep getting sidetracked. So
I have ADD, and I think you do too.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Do so. We got bumper, suspension, 488s.
Yeah.
Any engine work to note?
Engine is completely stock.
Okay.
Other than the intake and the exhaust that we just put on, like I've
Oh
always
yeah,
had a
new
stock
exhaust. That's the R4T exhaust,
Yeah,
right?
it sounds really good.
Nice.
Big fan of that. I think I dented it already though, so sorry guys.
Yeah, I saw you posted a picture of your skids just getting destroyed. Are they aluminum? Aluminum skids?
Yes, they're aluminum.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
taken some pretty big hits, and then
It's too bright out here to see my screen, so hopefully you guys are seeing
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
So
you
these
take.
are like-
I always hit them right in the middle, like
Yeah.
just like that.
this one, wait, what was that? That one, I just wasn't paying attention, and like everything in my truck went flying. And then that one, I was fooling around in Wyoming and had like a big wheel in the air, and then just came down as I cleared the obstacle and went thunk. So
Yeah, I
It's
would
all right.
expect like. So this rig we're talking is 4 tons.
yeah, it's pretty heavy.
4 tons, and that's with aluminum skids.
Yeah.
Imagine the steel. You'd be at 5 ton. Nah, they're not that heavy, but they're heavy.
Steel skids are heavy though.
They are heavy,
but
man. Yeah, I
I do
usually
have
go
like
aluminum.
the C4 fabrication steel fuel tank skid.
Okay.
So that's the one steel skid.
I guess you can talk. You got an extended range
Yeah.
fuel tank. Is that
Yeah.
a single or like a transfer flow type system?
It's a pretty
or-
cool system, and it can also take hits. There's dents on there too. But it's down here, and this is a 24-gallon tank from Long Range America. And the way it works
So
is,
oh, go ahead.
it's pretty slick. It's 24-gallon extra, right? So this is like your spare tire that nobody uses when they get a swing out.
Yep.
So it's just totally empty. They bolt this up in here, and it tees into your factory filler, so it fills from the same fill nozzle.
Okay.
It fills the main first, and then the tee comes out and trickle fills over into this tank once your main tank's full.
Okay.
And then there's a
And that's
transfer
just-
pump
okay.
that goes from here to the main tank, and I just push a button and it transfers like while I'm driving.
Okay. So it'll automatically fill, but
Mm-hmm.
then you manually, it has a pump that will pump that into your main tank from
Yep,
this.
when you want it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you might get a little bit of siphon fill, like from wheeling, there might be some sloshing or whatever.
Can you close it off to where you only fill your main tank, or is it just kind of you always are filling both?
You will always fill both, but if you know how much your main tank is, you just stop the pump. And then,
Okay.
and then
So
you
the
only
T's
fill
like at the
main.
top of the tank. Like
Yeah, you
once
can-
it's full, it then
You can
starts
see
going.
it actually. Oh, maybe not. It's
So
under
this video is
here.
going to be longer than we talked about, I think, because we're getting kind of detailed. So, I mean, there's just a lot done to this vehicle. So
Yeah, there's a
on
lot
that.
going on for sure.
do it, give it its justice. Okay, so long range fuel tank transfers over. You got sliders
Here's
that
the
are pretty
little-
beat up.
Here's the little button that you push right here. There's like a fuel level, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Uh-huh.
You just push that when the truck is on, and it'll start transferring, and,
Okay.
and it automatically shuts off because there's a level sensor in there.
Nice. Sweet. So that puts you at how much fuel overall? 40 some?
47 gallons.
Okay.
So like, 11 miles per gallon, you get about 500 miles-ish.
That's
like
what you're
highway
getting
range.
roughly? 11?
Yeah, it's anywhere from like 10 to 12 on the highway, depending on wind, and like, that's a
Okay.
65 mile an hour happy zone.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I maybe would have expected worse, honestly.
Yeah.
With how heavy it is and how
And the
wide and how
37s
big.
and,
37 mud terrains,
Yeah.
yeah.
My-
Like 37 1350s, yeah.
It's funny, my fuel mileage went up actually with the 37s from 35s because I wasn't re-geared on 35s.
Okay.
And when
So
I
you just
re-geared on
had nice
37s,
RPMs?
yeah, it actually gets like 1 mpg better.
Interesting.
But
Okay. And then
so
I guess we
long
can talk
travel
about-
rear, long travel front,
Yeah.
stock transfer case, stock drive shaft, engine stock, all that stuff. Just
Okay.
hydro
Drives
bumps in
all
the
right?
rear is brand new. That's nice. What's
Okay.
that?
Drives nice? Like slow?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, how's the driving
the highway?
experience?
Yeah,
not on
on
the trail, just like around
On the
town
highway, it's hard to get good caster in the front, so sometimes it doesn't
Okay.
drive amazing. But there's no sway bars on the truck, so you kind of have to like pay attention to what you're doing. So
no
it's
sway bars, yeah, that was
I'm used to it, so I don't, like this is pretty
Yeah.
fun for me. But
Yeah.
it is my daily driver also, and it would be nice to have sway bars.
Sway bars are nice when you're like on Highway 70 through the mountains
Yeah.
or whatever. Around town, I don't mind too much, but at fast speeds on
Yeah.
windy roads is
Like
no
when I'm
fun.
trying to like do an evasive maneuver at 80 miles an hour, it's terrifying.
Yeah,
I will not lie.
moose test.
You go like this,
don't
and then it
swerve.
goes like this, and then this.
Yeah.
And because the rear end of these, the 4-link, the rear end actually turns when you lean.
Oh, so that
because it
accentuates it.
leans a lot, you get like this weird like,
Compounds the
yeah, like you
windiness.
turn left and then you're like almost drifting.
Oh, wild.
It can be weird.
Real quick, just because I'm looking at them, these are Baja Designs
Yep.
IR
Yes.
lights, more in the up high light
Yep.
bar.
Yeah.
And you
so-
have a set of, you said PVS 31s or?
Yep, that's correct. We have a set of 31s, but we also do, we have a bunch of like IR content that we're developing for them. So that's why we have a lot of IR up here, like more than
Yeah,
you
it's a
guys.
lot.
Like all you need is a set of Squadron Pros, or like they make S2s, like in that if you're just
Yeah,
using.
this amount of IR with
It's too much.
goggles is much brighter than your
They-
white light with no
yeah,
goggles. I'm
they
guessing.
auto gate like that.
Yeah.
But for the camera, it helps expose at night and stuff
Okay.
like that, right?
Cool. So that's coming out. Like
Yeah.
you're making content,
Yeah.
like video content. You're talking
Correct.
about.
We have a
Okay.
reel, like a teaser reel that we put out, maybe a few months ago now at this point. So it is on their page and our 2-Track Nation page.
Okay.
And it's like kind of shows what we're going to be doing. But
That's pretty sweet. Do you have like
so it has-
do you have kill switch, kill all your other lights? Like brake lights and everything?
I just unplug the sensor on the brake pedal.
Okay.
And it kills everything.
Okay. So you just turn your lights off, unplug the brake pedal.
That's what we're doing right now. I mean, I will probably wire in like a blackout switch.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
it's been a process with all the IR and like getting that stuff dialed.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
haven't-
a completely different thing to film.
I haven't messed with it, but it's one
It's
of those
fun,
things
dude.
where it's always one of the next projects I'm
Yeah.
at. Just like night vision in general.
Yeah.
And I like have played with plenty of other people's, and it's always awesome. And then it always gets bumped down my priority list, and I
Yeah.
never really get into it. But
Yeah.
I always love playing with them.
Yes, it's fun, and like TNVC is a great place to get night vision if people are curious, like where to even go to get it, right? Because
Okay.
it's kind of like a
Yeah.
black hole.
Yeah, you can spend a black hole's amount of money on it
Yes.
if you want to.
Yes, you
know,
can.
if you
The
get
lights
into
are
quads
actually the
and stuff.
cheapest part.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I think 2 of these are like $350.
Yeah, I'm always waiting. Like, there's always like new tech that's like teased and right around the corner, like night vision contact,
Yeah.
like all this stuff. And I'm like, do I want to drop 20 grand on this 50-year-old tech, or
No.
wait for the new stuff? And the new stuff never comes. So
Yeah, just get the
can't just wait.
31s, the Gen 3s, and like you'll be good.
yeah.
It's actually like.
But even with
mind-blowing.
this much IR, you could have Gen 1s and
Yeah.
probably see really well.
Yeah.
even.
It's just like, the new stuff is just so much more high definition.
Yeah. So Gen 1 through 3, 3s and 3 pluses or whatever are
Yeah.
the nicest.
Yep.
And they, like, even with like a little bit of moon or whatever you can see,
Yeah.
the crappier ones, Gen 1, Gen 2, aren't as good with no light. But if you have all this IR blasting out, they'll do just fine, I imagine.
Probably. Yeah, I'm not the biggest night vision expert, but yeah.
Me neither.
You probably know more than me.
I know a tiny Tiny
But yeah,
bit.
this has 360 IR, and it's like, it's
Nice.
really fun to drive with.
Yeah, you go do some crazy like hog hunting with
Yes,
it.
you could. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
at Expo,
keep
we should like, because I brought,
You have them with you?
yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
that'd be
just
sick.
like, when it gets dark, we'll
Fire
just
them
like,
up. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty sick.
That would be rad. Okay, yeah, ADD.
Yeah, this video is going great.
So you got a roof rack.
Yeah, I built the roof rack. Again, like at the time, there weren't a lot of options for this.
Missing a bolt.
Yeah, this makes a lot of noise when I drive, actually. It's
I
super
imagine.
annoying. Yeah. There's probably a lot of bolts missing on this truck.
What is it? Do you need bolts? It's like an M.
It's this
M6?
guy. It's like a 1032
Okay.
cap screw.
I maybe have some if you need.
Okay.
Built your own roof rack.
Because I wanted it nice and low. And the options at the time, like, put it too much high. I knew I was going to wheel, but I wanted a tent and, like, you know, center of gravity, weight up high kind of thing. So the light bar I built myself too. There's like a set of 80/20 bolted to the bottom of the alu cab has an interesting like design system on it. It's different than most tents, but that's an alu cab Gen 3R. I probably like my favorite tent. You know, there's a lot of great tents out there, but I've had alu cabs for
They're solid.
They're like fantastically made.
Yeah.
Great fabric. My old one, I've smashed into trees and it was dented and stuff like that, and it's still sealed. Like had no problems.
Nice.
Same with the awning. It's a 270 awning, and it covers the kitchen area back here. I feel like that's a good segue to maybe like.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Yeah, let's do rear bumper real quick and then get.
Okay.
Oh no, let's do rear bumper and then heater.
Okay. And so back here, this is a Coastal Off-Road weld together kit bumper. That I welded, so it's probably, you know, not the best welds, but can't, what's the saying? Like if you, the grinder makes the best welder or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I don't know the saying, but I know the meaning.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with grinding my welds to make them look better.
And you guys are probably wondering what's going on here. This is broken, this latch.
You just broke it last night.
Yeah, like last night. And that's part of what Mike was helping me, because this also broke right here. So the interesting part about this is, so like, this is a custom swing out that I put on this bumper. It's not designed for this, so there's like a whole bunch of metal under here to reinforce this side of the bumper, so I can have that spindle. But this actually like drops down. So you pull this bolt, and then it hinges off of these two heim joints. And there's a bumper right here, and when this is closed, the bumper rests on the actual bumper here, and it holds the tire and...
So it doesn't go all the way to the ground.
No, it like floats right here. So like when it's dropped down, the tire's at like a perfect working level.
We're not gonna do it because he just broke it and just fixed it,
Yeah.
so we don't want to risk it again with these.
But we'd have
welds.
to like strap this up too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
So that folds down so you
maybe
can
I'll
get
do that on my
access.
Instagram, like a little like how this thing
Yeah,
works
I'm sure
later.
you've shown it.
I haven't actually. People keep asking.
Weird. So the spare tire is on the inside of all of this, and this is actually a
Right.
structural kind
Yeah.
of area here that he has some other stuff mounted to.
So like the max tracks get mounted here. So like the tire is as close to the truck because it's mounted on the inside of the swing out. And then you have a structure to mount like your bag and your max tracks and that kind of crap.
And Chase has had like two flats in the last couple weeks, I guess. So he's been having to get this off and on. And you forgot to put the bolt in right or something and broke it, and that's
yesterday actually, this bolt I forgot to put the nut on, and so I was going down the trail and the bolt walked itself out, and then it was only holding by one ear, and it just like sheared that one ear off.
Gotcha. So this was just quick little welded this tab back on basically this morning, which
Mike's
probably
a lifesaver.
we should see if I have some spray paint around so it doesn't rust.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna redo it when I get, or like make some changes when I get home anyway. So I'm not worried about it.
Rear bumper setup, shovel, max tracks, little bag.
I have gotten a lot
trash.
of questions about this.
I have the same chainsaw.
The chain. Oh, you do?
Yeah, DeWalt is 60 volt.
Great. Yeah, great little chainsaw.
Yeah,
honestly.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, and I specifically mounted it on here for this trip because I knew I was going to be like in forest. I have actually had to use it to clear roads on the trails that I was doing in the last few months, so it like came in super handy.
Yeah, and you have a big battery. He's got big. We'll talk about it in a big lithium battery setup to recharge the 60-volt batteries.
So like electric just made sense for me. So
they're so quiet. Like all you need is bar oil. You don't need to mix your fuel. Carry around separate. That's the way electric's way to go. It has enough power to handle most things.
Yeah, it's a full-size chainsaw.
Yeah, I think they have 16-inch bars on them.
Yep. Yeah, 16. You can get it 18 nice. Too, I think.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, I love that little chainsaw. Yeah. I have like a big Husky 460 Rancher, but like almost always I use the DeWalt.
And then this is, I forgot to put that away. But this is like...
Oh, I saw you using that little water bottle fill.
Yeah. I just use it for like filling pots, cooking ramen, that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a 10-gallon water tank inside with like a pump, accumulator, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. But is tank pressurized or separate pump that is like on demand?
Yeah, it's on demand. So like there is an accumulator that will hold like 30 PSI, so you get instant pressure and it won't pulsate right away. Nice. So like, you know, I can just blast
Sorry,
it
it's too detailed. I was just curious myself. Going too detailed here. But this back setup's pretty cool.
Yep.
You have, I forgot, you have full rear seat delete and everything back here.
It's a 2-seater.
Yeah.
So this is a system that Aiden James Customs and I collaborated on. This is a drop-down induction stovetop, dual burner. And it's on the same slide out as the fridge. So if you're like cooking, you can still, you know, get beer or food or like
95 or something?
75.
75, okay.
So obviously
huge.
One for beer and one for food.
Yeah.
And then
how's the Aussies, man? They drink as much beer as it seems like they do?
Yep. Drank a lot. And big deep slides because I don't have second row. So we were able to go into that a little bit.
Yeah, big slides.
So like they're like 40-inch slides, I think, actually.
Yeah.
So like all my tools and stuff down here. This is, you know, all my pots and pans, that kind of stuff. And then this is like dried foods and cutlery and that kind of stuff. And then this is just like a catch-all. I think I have a snatch strap
junk drawer
in here, chairs. Fire starter, extra winch line.
Some little lighting.
Yeah, and they all have automatic lighting on every single drawer.
Okay.
Underneath here that.
Yeah, and if it's showing on camera or not.
Yeah, and then
that's
just like
nice, sleek setup. This is really cool. This is really cool, man.
Yeah, I like it. The best part about it is like the cleaning, honestly, because you just like spray and then wipe. Like that's it. And
setup time. There's no stove that sets up faster than that.
It's on.
Yeah, boil water in a minute or whatever.
Yeah, it's like super fast.
Don't have to refill propane tanks.
Nope. As long as
especially you got diesel heater and electric stove. No propane in this setup at all.
No, none.
Sorry, I was interrupting. Cool pull down table.
No, you're good. Yeah, so like it just makes like a nice little cooking corner, you know, when it's open.
I'm gonna interrupt you again. I did the same thing on my 80 series. Just like bolted a paper towel holder to the.
And then these are like hair ties I just looped together.
Okay.
To like keep it from like whipping and in the wind and stuff.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because mine just comes unraveled when the wind blows.
And then this is kind of unique, but this is a S-Pod touch controller that I mounted back here, and so it's linked to both Bantams, so I can control like all of my lights right from here at camp. So I can just like turn camp lights on. I can turn the air compressor on like when I'm airing up the truck from back here. Like all my air up supplies are back here, and just like
nice. What's your air really like that setup?
Air up setup is I have just like a twin Viair 444C in the hood. And then I plumbed air to each tire. I think you can see one down here, but
I get sunburn out here. This video's so long. You get sunburn right before Expo. Sorry. No. I mean, I'm asking lots of questions too. It's fascinating. Super built rig. So yeah, sweet secondary controller. Your main control, I guess, is up in the cockpit.
Yep, right by the steering wheel.
Got the Gullwings here. Diesel can for
both
the heater.
Side, little accent lighting, but this makes easy access for like, you know, blankets, stuffable stuff. Like my stock jack is back here and oils and that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
yeah, you just have to make sure this is closed. But this is the fuel tank for the diesel heater, which is on the other side.
And this is plumbed up.
Yeah, it just goes up and over. And then again, mounted on a Gullwing, but this is our diesel heater, the 2-track Nation hot box is what we call it. This is like prototype 1, which is like the largest size. And right now it's just open it up, but this is a 2.2 kilowatt Eberspacher heater, so it's really high-end components, high-end case. This one has like a, you know, self-regulating controller. I'm doing some like experimenting with high altitude stuff on this because this is only
fuel mixture gets too rich.
Yeah,
at
it's like tuned for just under 10,000 feet, but I was camping at 12,000, and then if you just like pinch it a little bit, it runs great above that.
12K out here, Colorado.
Yeah, there's a lot of high altitude stuff out here. So I was doing a little testing on this trip with this, but we have a couple models. This is more like a rooftop tent one.
So this is what Chase, and well, I guess you got your partner, Hunter, are developing and gonna be selling these. Are they for, you said they're for pre-order now or not quite?
Not quite, almost. We're hoping to be able to do that like at the end of this trip is when I'm hoping to be able to start opening up
probably
orders.
Shortly after this video is uploaded, they'll have kind of pre-orders.
There's a lot of info on the website though, twotracknation.com.
So you got basically intake, exhaust, plugs that...
Yeah, I left the plugs on my tire and drove away, so I've been driving around open in the rain and stuff, and it's actually been fun. You need like
a little tether.
Yeah, I know.
A little tether, so
this is that R&D, right?
Yeah.
But
and then you connect your basically like dryer vent type thing from here up into your tent.
Yeah, this is the intake, but I have one that comes out the top, which is kind of unique for us.
My bad. I shouldn't explain his thing.
That's okay. This is
intake air. Exhaust. This is where the heat
comes out, and it's on top because the tent's on top, so it's like
it makes sense.
Easier run, right?
Yeah.
But we also make this. So this is hard mountable. We'll make this portable too, right?
Okay.
So that you just bolt that fuel tank to the back, and then you just like walk around.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Diesel heater. If you don't know much about them, they sometimes, like I have one in my van, it's plumbed directly. It's a diesel Sprinter. These ones, it's not a diesel vehicle, obviously, so you need a separate diesel tank. But the nice thing is all the combustion air and exhaust air are kept entirely separate from your actual intake and exhaust air. So you're heating clean air. There's no humidity gain, there's no contamination. So it's just clean, dry air that you're pumping up into your tent. So it's safer than trying to run a propane heater,
way safer.
drier.
The only thing that you'll ever have a problem with is with wind, right? If the exhaust gets blown into the intake or something, but like any diesel heater is gonna have that problem.
Do you have like separate, like you could put a separate hose that plumbs intake air away from exhaust air? Like in this setup right here, they're pretty close.
I actually usually just go like this.
Okay.
And like that takes care of any wind potential problems with the exhaust.
Okay.
So pretty easy.
Cool.
But
I've been intrigued by diesel heaters for a while. And apparently this one doesn't have like the clicking that like the cheap like China ones do, which is the most annoying part about the diesel heaters I've used.
A silent pump pretty much, which is like the great part. Yeah, we make one that goes on a truck camper too.
Okay.
Like, so, and the idea is keep it outside, you get more storage inside, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Nice. And it's not really adding any other width because your stupid wide axle and tires, so it's actually less wide than the truck.
There's a lot going on in the cockpit, but...
And Chase has been living out of this vehicle for the last 2 months, so he's got kind of all his stuff
like my
in here.
Cameras and all that kind of crap.
Smells like farts. No, it doesn't actually. It doesn't.
What does it taste like though? 12-inch iPad Pro for navigating and stuff. A little GoPro for some like FaceTime type conversations. Midland GMRS radio. Here's the main S-Pod controller. That's my OBD2 Ultra Gauge where I reset all my engine codes. Tell the truck to shut up and stop yelling at me.
It just throws codes regularly?
Emission stuff sometimes. I have a brand new charcoal canister and I don't know why it's still doing that. But the reason is like, even a loose gas cap will like disable your like off-road traction control. So I just reset the code so it like re-enables that.
Gotcha.
That kind of stuff. But yeah.
I think you read, it gives you more read, if you like want to track coolant temps and all that kind of stuff, you can show it on there.
I use it mainly for transmission temperatures because this thing's so heavy that like it gets hot really quick. So
all right,
kind of necessity. And then these are just little like pouches. So I have, because I'm by myself, so I have like, I want quick access to everything from the driver's seat. So like, you know, I have soft shackles right here for when if I need to winch, I can just dink dink. Got like some medical stuff.
Patches.
Yeah.
I don't see my patch anywhere, so
I haven't gotten one yet.
Basically,
man.
grab you one.
We can fix that real quick.
Yeah, then we got some camera
This is something
gear.
that everyone should have.
Yeah,
whether
I have
they
a
travel
mini.
solo or not.
Yeah. This is the Garmin InReach.
Yep. It's
So-
basically a satellite texting phone, and it has saved my butt like twice for sure already.
So you can pre-program text or send text or SOS or whatever through that. iPhones now have an SOS feature, interestingly enough, but it's not as fun. You can't text your friends or whatever from it. It's only emergency services.
And whenever you text someone, it sends your GPS coordinate automatically, so you don't have to like think about it, you know?
Yeah, I use it occasionally. I have the mini, so it's like I use the app on my phone to send, you know, I'm here or whatever.
Right.
Everything's good.
Yep.
Sends cords.
Not dead, still surviving.
But good, especially if you're traveling solo and remote. Definitely a good thing to have.
100%. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of messy in here because...
Yeah, no, it's good.
But-
You got a little, some caramel popcorn.
Oh
down
yeah,
here.
Ace Hardware popcorn.
That's good stuff.
It's from this morning actually.
Okay, so it's not moldy yet or anything like that. I'm just kidding, giving him a hard time. In here we got, again, all his living stuff.
So this is and this is a new drone because I broke a drone, but I also broke another one yesterday.
I told Chase to not bring his bad luck to my house, if he could.
It's all staying in the car. It'll be fine. Just don't touch it, and you'll be all right.
So what's anything worth talking about?
Yeah, there's a lot. So this is a second row seat delete. Again, part of an extension of that drawer system. Down here is like a storage cubby where I usually keep like my toiletries. I have like cold weather bag. It's kind of stuffed in there, and then like little.
You need fast charger. Now you got an extra if you want one.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
They're way faster.
And
they're louder though.
I can't hear it in there.
Yeah,
so whatever.
It's true.
But and then under here, I keep like all of like really long stuff, like a torque wrench. My axe is under here, and then again like automatic lighting, so you don't need a headlamp for, you know, doing stuff at night. And then this is like a big, huge cutoff switch for all of the lithium. And what you could probably see the lithium right there.
See 100 amp hour.
Yeah, so there's one big, this is all Battleborn batteries, electronics, and batteries. So there's a row of 3 right here, and then an extra 4th on this side.
400 amp hours, 12 volt.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind of like a little Sprinter van setup.
Yeah, that's a good amount of energy. You have a second alternator or anything like that, or just you're charging off your factory alternator?
It's a Sequoia alternator, so I think I have an extra 20 amps.
Okay. You have solar on the top or anything? Or?
Yeah, I have Sunflare 185 watt.
Okay.
For induction, that's not enough, right?
Oh yeah, like trickle charges
keep
this setup.
Yeah, it's enough to
basically.
keep the fridge going for sure.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, this setup mainly gets charged via alternator.
Okay. And do you have, is this charging? This little Noco hookup?
Yeah, we could plug in to like your house or whatever, and it'll just be like shore power,
standard
basically.
3-prong.
Yep.
110.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like the wall of electronics on the front here, so usually have it covered with like a doggy bed for like all my stuff, but this is like the Wii Boost. This is like an all-in-one controller where you can see everything that's going on. And you can see pretty low on battery. I think I actually forgot to turn my alternator charging back on.
Uh-oh.
Yep, it was off. So,
yeah. You can see right now, 25 watt of load, 106 watt solar coming in.
Yep, so, and then we can just swipe through this. There's a bunch of different menus, but you can actually see how much fresh water I have in my tank. There's a level sensor. And then there's all sorts of stuff you can do here, but I have a breaker panel here for the stove, and then this outlet, you could weld off of this. There's a 3,000 watt inverter back there.
So is it a 20 amp? Maybe? Who knows?
This is, what did I do?
Either 15 or 20, I'm guessing. Household outlet?
I think it's 20, but this is a 15 amp household
yeah.
outlet, so.
Yeah, I was just saying, technically, you can put a 15 amp outlet, I mean, as far as residential code, 15 amp outlet on a 20 amp circuit.
Yeah.
But not the other way around.
Yeah. No, yeah, I couldn't really figure out, like, what rules were for me doing this stuff in the car. I was just like, all right,
There's no rules.
I'll do it as good as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, the inverter is huge and it's awesome. And it was so that I could still charge or run large devices while I'm cooking at 18.
You have it just always on, or you turn it off and on?
On this trip, it's just been mainly always on, but like when I'm at home,
because it'll have
put it to charge mode only, and it'll trickle charge the main battery as well.
Okay.
There's a charging option on it, like a 4 amp trickle charge to the starter battery.
Nice.
And then this is a 50 amp buck boost.
That is a beast of a solar controller.
Yeah.
This thing's massive.
I think I sized it like this because I was, like we said, this is not enough solar to charge it. So I was planning on getting some like panels I could put out.
Okay.
And like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how much that, I mean, it's a big.
160 volt.
Oh, 160 volt.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I could hook up a lot.
Yeah.
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 Probably a little bit too big, but.
Yeah, it's like can handle, I think, nearly 1,000 watts of solar in a standard voltage setup then.
This is like my war off-grid Armageddon vehicle, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Ready.
Yeah, no, I know. You got IR lights.
Yeah.
Gats on board. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? We won't talk about that. Multicam Alpine, so it'll only blend in. I mean, you live in Arizona, so you should have done arid probably, but.
I like the white. Okay.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
A white truck, and I like white.
It looks good. Yeah, it'll be fitting out here in the winters, for sure.
Snow wheeling's a lot of fun, so.
Yeah.
It fits in there.
Sweet.
The grand tour. I'm sure there's stuff that we could continue talking about.
No, it was. It's a crazy built rig. Really, I think this video is going to end up being 45 minutes or so. Sorry. No, that's fine. My users are used to me talking a long time anyway. But it's sweet. But yeah, Chase has lots of cool stuff. He wheels it pretty hard. Yeah. I would say definitely his typical trip is harder wheeling than what I typically do.
I try to do like this rock landing thing where like I like having all the luxuries, but I still want to pretend to rock crawl.
Yeah, we were talking. I was into off-roading more hardcore before I got into whatever overlanding or vehicle camping. And I told him I just got sick of what he's doing right now, which is fixing broken crap all the time. So I kind of just try to get to pretty spots. I mean, maybe not. Nothing against wheeling. Wheeling's sweet. I just don't like fixing stuff. But yeah, this is probably, I think it's the craziest GX I've seen.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and I think GXs are pretty cool. I prefer LXs just because, you know.
I would love an LX.
Because I'm a Land Cruiser guy, but they're sweet.
The fake Land Cruiser, the baby Land Cruiser.
You know.
Say, the frame on these are very good.
Yeah, so for international people, the GX is essentially the Prado. Toyota in the US didn't previously have the Land Cruiser Prado until it's coming in 2024. So if you wanted what's internationally known as a Prado in the US, that's a GX. Whereas the LX is a full Land Cruiser. Correct. The big Land Cruiser.
Smaller body, more like mid-size, basically SUV.
Yeah, but you still get the V8, which is sweet.
Get a boxed frame.
Yeah, they're like.
I argue the frame's better than a Tacoma frame.
These are they were hidden gems for a while. Now it's pretty. They're pretty popular. I would say the price has probably tripled in the last 3 years. I bet.
I haven't looked, but.
Yeah. I don't even look at him. I pulled that number out of my butt, but that's just a gut feeling probably. Okay, all right, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thanks to Chase for his time. This video is gonna upload after Overland Expo, but if you were at Overland Expo, you swung by the Toyo booth and you saw the Tundra, maybe me, maybe this, and maybe Chase, that was who this is. I'll leave his links and stuff down below, and yeah, I think that's it.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah.
Fun hanging and getting to, I know we don't know each other very well, but.
Yeah, more now.
out a lot, so.
More so now.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No worries. All right, guys, until next time, take care.